Hello everyone, Ruby Retrograde Tarot and Tea here, and today I'll be showing you guys an oracle deck that I have picked up to use from an ad I saw on Facebook Marketplace. It was an oracle that looked pretty interesting to me, and I decided to show a flip through of it. It's a French oracle deck, and you'll see that it's quite the interesting system going on there. And so just before I start, if you hear the outside, it's just that it's kind of stuffy here, and on top of that I have the feeling like my throat might be having like a little bit of a sore throat, so I just wanted to have some fresh air and stuff. So if you hear the outside, I'll try to minimize it as much as possible, and hopefully it won't be too loud. But in any case, without further ado, the oracle that I'm talking about, it is called L'Oracle Céleste Astrokiff. It was created by Julia Salomé and illustrated by Sandrine Fourrier. This is a mass market oracle deck, and it is published, oh, sorry for shaking it. It is published by Le Lotus et l'Éléphant. It's a publishing company based in France, if I'm not mistaken. It's based in France. So, as I mentioned, this is an oracle deck. As you can see, it's... Oh, sorry about that. As you can see, it's very pretty. I do like the illustration there. It's a clamshell box. And here at the back, at this channel here, we're going to do some express translation here. Julia Salomé, aka Astrokiff, proposes to you to rediscover the zodiac thanks to her or to their Oracle Céleste, inspired by Greco-Roman mythology. Laissez-vous porter. Let you go by the energy of the 12 signs of the zodiac, the forces of the elements, the movement of the stars and planets, rhythm of the season, and symbols of notions of L'Oracle de Belline. And in this box, you can have 70. You'll have 70 cards illustrated to receive messages from the stars, and 160 pages guidebook to interpret your draws. Here you can see a little example of what the cards will look like, but don't worry, we will actually open this box up and show you what it's like. So, like I mentioned, it is a clamshell box. Very nice. I bought it, like I mentioned, secondhand from somebody who tried it. Like they haven't really used it. It was just a little bit too much for them, and I kind of get what they mean, and I'll show you guys why. So there's the guidebook. That was 160. And Astrokiff, which is Julia Salomé's aka name. I believe it's under the same name on Instagram. I forgot to double check. In any case, the cards are in a little bit of an enclosure. There's nothing in the bottom, just the top. It has a nice little tapestry kind of design here. The back of the cards, as you can see, it's this very pretty pattern, reversible. I did go through the cards because I had to put the deck back together, and you'll see that some of the cards pretty much, they're meant to be flipped upside down for like a good part of them. As for the cardstock, it is a glossy finish. So if I reflect it by the light of the window, it's not extremely glossy, but it is a good gloss. The cards, I do not, from me kind of, moving them around, I don't sense that there's any core of any kind of them. It is mass market, so, it's not often that you'll have a core inside these cardstock, but the cardstock, it's somewhere between cardboardy, but okay. So it's not too thin, not too thick, but it is kind of cardboardy feeling. I mean, if you're one who has even one indie deck, and then you kind of handle mass market kind of papery stock, I think you'll know what I mean. The edges have I want to say like an antique gold color, not too shiny, just a good touch of shine, which I do like. And now for the cards, this is what I mean by, the cards are meant to be upside down. You'll have the name of the card. So here in this instance, we have Aries. We'll have 3 keywords, top side, and if it's upside down, you'll also have 3 keywords here to indicate the reverse, or like not necessarily opposite sense of the card, but you know what I mean, like the blocked energy maybe. Here we have here the sign of the sign, which is Aries, the planet that's associated with it, Mars. And as you can see, you can definitely tell that Greek Roman inspiring. There is a video actually that I'll post in the description box. The creator is French, so of course the interview is going to be in French, but the English translations were not bad for that thing. But she explains basically the whole concept of this oracle, how she worked with the illustrator, inspiration, etc., and even kind of gives a little live example of one of the spreads, of how to pull the spread that she has in the book there. And it was pretty informative, and that's kind of what pushed me to actually look for this deck and actually get it, because you'll see it's very, like I said, it's quite an interesting system, in quotation, though it's not system. So what I will do is I will zoom so that we can see the cards in greater detail. And as always, I think that I put that little square of selenite at a good spot, and in the end it's not. In any case, let's zoom a little bit more, and we'll go through each card, and I will again where needed try to translate as much as I can. I won't say all the keywords top and bottom, because that will be a lot, and like I mentioned, my throat is kind of it hasn't decided whether to trouble me or not, so I'll be nice to my throat. So just 1 second. I had to take a little bit of tea, nice warm tea. So we're starting here with Aries. We have Taurus, Gemini, and you'll see the illustration. I find them so bright, even though there is the framing thing going on, and it's different from one card to another, and you'll see it's almost like a party going on in there. But I really much like the illustration. Leo. Oh, and I did forget to mention at the beginning, not only do you have the name of the zodiac sign, the symbol, the planet it's related to, but at the bottom here, it's the house that it's associated to and its element. So here it would be related to the 6th house, and because it's Virgo, of course I have to fall on the one that I can't tell easily. Hold on, let me cheat 3 seconds, because it's not Earth, it's the other one. For crying out loud, how can I always forget? Water. Oh yeah, it is Earth. Sorry. Whoop. So it is Earth. Oh my gosh. One day I will remember these element symbols. So now we have Libra. And also a little tidbit about the creator, Julia Salomé. She, by trade or by profession, she is an astrologer. She even offers readings and things like that, like birth chart reads and all of that. She has a website and everything. if you're interested and speak French, or you know, are okay with translating whatever it is that she gives you. Sagittarius. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Verso. Why do I constantly forget Verso in English? Capricorn, Aquarius. I had to sing that Beyonce song. If you know the Beyonce song, you know what I mean. And Pisces. So now here, we've gone through the zodiac sign, and now we are with the elements. Here with the elements again, we have some keywords at the top, keywords at the bottom, and in the case here we have a fire element. We have the zodiac signs that are associated with it: Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. Earth, there we go, the one that for whatever reason I could not get. Air, and water. It's so pretty. Now here, it is the, if I'm not mistaken, it is the planets and other astral bodies. So here again, we have the keywords up and down. Its little symbol, as you'll see it on a birth chart, are represented. And here we have the sun, obviously. Moon. Mars. Venus. Mercury. Jupiter. Saturn, Uranus, Pluto, Neptune, the Nunal is the north node. There you go, north node. The south node. And the black moon. Just wanted to see the symbols. The black moon. Then we have Chiron. A series, I think it is in English. And that is it for the planets and other bodies. Here now, these next cards, or the next 12 cards, are about the houses. So again, a little bit of the same thing. Keywords, the number of the house number. Here we have a zodiac sign associated with it. And the image here in the middle is to help, to kind of help with what it represents. You know, so for example, the first house, it's about personality, body, and self. So we have this Roman, I guess, style bust carving. That's what I see it, as a bust carving. So yeah, take a little trick again. Second house. Third house. Fourth house. Fifth house. Sixth house. I feel like there's something on my cloth, but it did not go away. Now it's bothering me. Anyways, seventh house. The eighth. House 9. House 10. House 11. And house 12. Okay, now for the next few cards, these are called, I think, no, not transits. What do they call it in the, oh yeah, planetary transits. That's what it was, transits. planetary transits. So there's gonna be, how many cards in the planetary transits? Like 6, 7. So we're starting off with Mercury retrograde. Here we, again, the keywords up and down. And just a nice little design for each of them. Saturn return of Saturn. What is it? I forget what's the actual name. The proper English term. I think it's like a Saturn return. Okay, well, I won't fight with my brain anymore. Let's just move on. Jupiter return. Solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. I find it so pretty. I like the colors. They're bright, but at the same time soothing. New moon. I think this is one of my favorite. I don't know why this card, I like looking at it a lot. Full moon. Okay, and now these last, I believe that's part of the last section in the thing. Yes, so the rest of these cards are called in the guidebook, in the table of content. They're under the complementary cards. This section of card, the creator was saying she kind of drew inspiration from L'Oracle de Belline. L'Oracle de Belline is a pretty famous oracle deck in France. I don't have a Belline deck, but it's how can I explain it? It's a series of cards that have just like a plain image, like a very plain image, although there are like some people have taken the Belline and kind of modernized it and did their own twist, but basically it will have like a plain image, and a lot of time it's kind of used more divinatory. The cards do have name, and then depending which card is with which, it might have a different meaning or nuance might be there. So I'll show you the ones that I know for almost certain are inspired or like almost directly from the Belline. The seasons here, no, but I'll show you here. So this is a summer with the signs associated with it, so pretty with the sunflower. Then we have fall or autumn, winter, and spring with a beautiful flower. Star of men, or men's star of the men, or yeah, anyways, men's, yeah, star of the men, and then star of the woman. So there, that would be an example here where of a card that you might find in a Belline Oracle, where you'll have like a simple, like just something like this, like a key. Not all the Belline will have a keyword on the cards, some don't. I think the original doesn't, if I'm not mistaken. But here we have what is called destiny. The skies, or the sky I should say, it's just le ciel. And I don't know if you noticed, it was a little bit hard to notice depending on the lights, but there are little cherub, there we go, little cherubs going on here. Here is Chronos, like a time. This is more of a time marker card, but here it's an event that's close by, and then if it's reversed, it's an event farther away in time. Success, we'll call it la réussite. It's basically success, completion. I believe that is also, I believe there's a card like that in Belline, but again, I do not remember. And here, oh yes, there are some cards depending. This is what, for example, she added a little association with the sun, as we can tell by the little sign here. This is change, le changement. I believe this is Mercury. Then we have happiness, le bonheur, associated with Jupiter. I believe that is Saturn, if I am not mistaken. Enemies, that is with Mars. Why do I want to say treaty? It's not treaty. Oh shoot! Now I forgot the treason. There you go. Treason with the moon and a shady-looking cat. I don't know why the cat had to be shady, but anyways. Then peace. I think Belline has a card with the bird. I don't know if it's necessarily a dove, but I seem to remember seeing one. Again, because I don't have a Belline oracle, and it would be a whole new system to learn, so that's why I don't have one. So if I'm mistaken, do tell me. I'm sorry in advance. Birth. Oh wait, I think I have a card stuck here. Death. The door. Although granted, it's an archway more than a door, but take it as just work with it. And finally, the guide. So here we go. We have gone through all 70 cards of the deck. Now what we'll do, or what I'll show you guys, is a little bit how the guidebook is structured real quickly. And then I'll kind of draw, I'll draw a random card to kind of show you a little bit of how it's told. Although, see, this one is a little bit difficult to me. Normally, I would just kind of, if it was a tarot deck, I would take a major arcana and a minor arcana and then read from an entry from both. But here, because it has different sections in quotation, or a different kind of type of cards, especially when it's something like the planets, here, while I'm talking about the guidebook, let me just kind of walk it back and then go to the same point. So here we have the table of contents, and as you can see, you have right here, you have 4 examples of spreads that you can do. Each cards are separated by sections. So here you have the zodiacs, the elements, the planets, houses, planetary transits, and complementary cards. And then just a little blurb about the author, the illustrator, and the editor. Pretty cool, isn't it? I believe, no, I didn't miss it, but I do like the pattern here. Okay, I am scattering myself. So here we have a nice little intro. The book, as you can tell, is in color. Very beautiful colors. For the cards, we have a little picture of the cards. When it is up until, okay, for the most part, the picture of the card take maybe like a little over half the page, and a nice little, I do like the nice illustration at the extras. But then you get to, I believe, the complementary cards, and the ratio will change. Yes. Then you get to the complementary cards. The picture of the card take a much bigger space on the page, and you will have just a short, to the point paragraph, like 2 paragraphs, about what the card represents, and then its meaning. And here there's like reverse cards aren't very much taken into account, really, except for that one card that I showed you. But in any case, so here I'll show you an example of the spreads that she has. Here, this first one is the spread for the astral theme. Then there is one call that she calls the express, or like the express or fast astral stream, astral theme spread. And basically this one, the difference is, whereas on the first one you would, what you actually do is you put the houses card down, then shuffle the rest of the deck and put one, and then draw one card for each house. here the difference is if you have a question, for example, they're talking about buying real estate, you will actually take cards, the cards of the houses, and use the one that you would need that corresponds to the questions that you have. So here in this example, it's about buying real estate. So you would take the house one, which is with the is you and your situation. House two, which is the state of your finance. House four, that describes the real estate that you're talking about, the one that you're thinking of buying. House six or seven, sorry, that describes the owner of the property you'd like to buy. And then house eight, which is the bank or mortgage house, whichever entity who helps you get the mortgage and all of that. And so you would take those houses, put them face up, then shuffle the rest of the cards, and then put one card for each of them. Same thing if it was about a wedding, a wedding or marriage. House one for that represents yourself. House two for the finance. House five, the relationship that unites you to your spouse. House seven, which describes the union, the marriage. And yeah, those are those 4 cards. So depending on what the question, the theme of the question, you would pull the houses related to it. And always, you would always have house one that represents yourself. Then you have the spread for the lunar cycle. Basically what this one is that you will pull out the new moon and full moon cards, place place them face up, and then let me just reread here because I have forgot the. Oh yeah, so then the new moon, this is to represent the start of the project, where you're starting from, and then the full moon is like the result of the situation, whether it's good or bad. Then you just pull a card for each of those sides, as many as you want, and then you would put one card in the middle of the two, and this is kind of like an advice to guide you in this situation. And then she does note here that the spread is useful in the case that we have a question about a subject, that a specific subject that is on a specific period of time, like that's spread out a specific period of time. So for example, am I gonna get this job at the end of the month? Will I find new place to live, in the short term? So when it's more defined. Then the fourth one, yes, I am at 4. It is the love spread. So basically you mix all the cards. You don't have to pull out the house cards or anything like that. You mix all the cards and you draw 7 cards. The number 1, which is here, is for you and your disposition. Number 2 is the person, the person that you're asking about. Number 3 is the actual relationship. Number 4 is the relationship in the future, in the coming future. Number 5 is what you or the person that is asking is hiding from the partner. And number 6 is what the partner is thinking. Wait, hold on. Let me English it properly, because so what the partner thinks of the person who's asking's situation. Okay. And then 7 is like a conclusion, a summarizer card type of thing. All right. Hopefully I'm making sense. If not, I think while I'm showing the cards, you are able to pause and, read it or pass it through translator. So, you know what? I think while I was talking, what I'm going to do is just show example of each section, because there is a lot. So I don't, if I shuffle a card, it will be just to as a hello kind of shuffle. So here, for example, for the horoscope, not horoscope, zodiac signs. For example, we have Taurus. We have from which date to which date. We have a little quote here. In this case, is from Shakespeare, who has Sun in Taurus. Then an explanation about Taurus, how it views life and everything else. And then if the card comes head up, right side up, this is what it represents. And then with a little, extra information and a little here, I don't know if I want to say affirmation, but it's in that vein. It's a little affirmation. So for example, if Taurus were to come up right side up, the little affirmation is patience is mother of all virtues. Then if the card comes up upside down, this is the we'll say shadow side, or less pleasant, livable attributes of the sign. And then here again, another affirmation. So it's time for you to open your mind and to see the situation in a new angle. So that would be, for example, for that. And it's about the same for almost all the sections. So here, for example, we are with the elements. It's almost the same thing, where you'll have fire, passion, Aries, Lion, Sagittarius, a little quote. The fire is the element that dominates, Aries, Lion, Sagittarius, what it does, if it's right side up, if it's upside down, and a little sentence to chew on. Now, if we go to the planets again, it is the same thing. Okay. And then the next section, and it is it's very informative. I've read the guidebook here and there whenever I had a bit of time, and for someone who doesn't know much about zodiac signs or anything like that, you'll definitely learn something. So this is here about the houses. So this is house 1. Hold on one second. So the house is the same thing, and as you can see, very colorful, very beautiful. Now these were the planetary transits, yes. And then here, the little difference here is for example, Mercury retrograde. It'll tell you, it comes up 3 times a year, whereas Saturn, oh geez, it's gonna bug me. Anyways, the return of Saturn is like every 27 to 29 years, something like that. And then the, lunar eclipse, it's a rare event. Okay, so now with the complementary cards, here the difference. Okay, so now it's the season. So of course, it's going to say that, it's summer, the period of June to September, and it encompasses a period of 3 months, and it could represent a person with the sign of Cancer, Leo, or Virgo. And then here we have just one sentence that says it's about growth, joy, and pleasures. Okay, so we're gonna skip with the seasoning here. The Star of Man and the Star of Woman. Those are neutral cards, and so neither good nor bad, and it represents a male or female, depending on which card, presence in your life. And the role of this presence depends on whatever are the next cards that are pulled when you're doing a spread. So here for the meanings, it's just explained as one or many character traits that we attribute to the masculine, la genre masculine, to the masculine side, I'll say, just because I don't know a proper word for la genre masculine, for the male folks, or the male side. So a man, the husband, or the lover. Same thing here. for the Star of Woman. Then we have the Destiny. Here it'll say that it's neutral, and then it represents an important decision, and then the significance, the meaning. Here you'll have certain cards that are very positive, like Le Ciel, which is the sky card. It's very powerful, very positive, and it is the level of positivity is that it'll even kind of tone down the negative aspects. If you have like a negative card in your spread, or a card that's upside down, it's representing something more shadowy, this will tone down its effect or the concentration of it. And then for the rest of the cards, it's about the same. Here we had a few cards that had zodiac signs here. So this is the Chronos card, where it was talking about a fast, something ending quickly. When it's upside down, it's patience, slowness, a faraway time. But then we had a few cards that had influence. For example, here for a success, it's a solar energy, so energy of the sun. So this card symbolizes an immediate success, and a step has been completed. And so we have the same thing here. I'm kind of going through the last cards. Enemy, same thing. Lunar energy, then peace. This is here more of a Venusian energy, so energy from Venus. Here for birth doesn't necessarily have an energy, so it's more for a start. Death, not necessarily. It could, but not necessarily. It's about the same concept as the death card in a tarot deck. So it's not actually like, something dying, but it could be just an end, basically. Then the door, and there you go. And so here we have a little blurb about the author. So this is not in actuality Julia Salomé, but it's just the picture and a little bit about her. So basically, Julia Salomé is known for her weekly horoscopes or Instagram. So she's a clairvoyant, I guess. Anyways, astrologue and cartomancienne. It's like for birth charts of Portuguese origin. And so a little bit about them. This is their social link if you'd like to check it out. And then the illustrator again, and here's their social. And then thanks from the author and the illustrator, and then the editor. And that's out. Oh, and this was published in 2023, but I just heard about it actually this summer. So there you go. So you know what? Let's just have a little bit of fun. I should be, and all this time that I had it, I did not shuffle it. This is my first time shuffling it, even when I was sorting it. And it's not too bad. It is a bit stiff to shuffle it, but you know what? Because they do say that, don't be afraid to put it inside out and upside down and all that. I don't like shuffling it when the faces are down, though. It feels a bit more stiff. But if I shuffle it this way, it's much better. It's a much better experience. Hand over hand, of course, no problem. It slides very nicely. And it's definitely because of the gloss finish. So here, let's go like this. Let's try to mix up our cards a little bit more. And let's end this video on a card and see what we get, okay? Ooh, I almost dropped my bowl of rocks. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like when I shuffle them face down, it feels like they're going to collapse on me because of the strength. Oh, wait. Well, there you go. 2 cards came off. Here you go. Here is what we can end our video on. Sorry guys, it's a little bit of a downer because both of them came out face reverse. So here we have air in reverse, which is hesitation, inexactitude, and being derouted. So yeah, derouted being off course. And then the new moon also in reverse, which is talking about a not, I want to say a void. So something missing. There we go. So sorry guys. Apparently the deck said there's something perhaps that we are hesitating on, and because of that there is something missing. So did any of you forget to drink water? Because that's the only thing I can explain. So let's see. If we were to look at the elements real quickly. So the air reverse, it talks about, let me see, let me read it real quickly. So air symbolizes mental distress, the fact of not being able to see clearly, and sometimes missing important informations. Establishing a judgment on something, if this card is reversed in a spread, would be an error. You could have been lied to. You could make a mistake or make a wrong judgment call because of lack of information. It's also an action too calculated and geez, what is prémédité? Well, too calculated and yeah, anyways, it's too calculated and too planned, which could be a cold and strict. Of course, like travel by plane is not is ill-advised. We'll say it like that. For relation questions, there's a lack of communication, but also a conflict related to sincerity or engagement. And then here we have more keywords. So, you know, being lost. There is confusion. Like repeated information without proof. So like gossip, I guess. Baseless gossip. Falling from high, misunderstanding, lies, incomprehension, being like a smokescreen. A futility, inconsistence, not keeping your engagement, versatility. Tornadoes or what's tornadoes or cyclones? Yeah, tornadoes or cyclones. Something is lacking solidity or foundation and bad communication. And the little blurb here is there's a lack of sincerity of engagement. Reorganize yourself. Oh boy. I have a feeling this oracle's gonna be mean to me. And I don't want it to. I didn't do anything wrong yet. So let's go to the new moon. Again, if I go here to the shadow side. So in shadow, this card symbolizes something missing from someone or something. It's probable that we feel lost and we feel lost and without during this phase, without knowing where to go. It is ill-advised if this card shows up in shadow to take important decisions. Again, you do not yet have a concrete goal, or it's not doable for the moment. It's possible that you are feeling empty or tired. Wait until next phase to go about it, or to like move, to make a move, basically. And then for the keywords, feeling empty, missing something, feeling empty, missing something, fatigue or exhaustion or emotional exhaustion, frustration, a period an unfavorable, is that a word in English? Unfavorable period to make important decisions, a moment of rest or like floating. Like it's a moment where you're floating or resting. It's kind of what it's saying here, and then take advantage of this phase to replenish your sources. Don't uh, don't hurry yourself. There we go. We got it. Okay, so this card is saying either to me. I feel like it's to me, but it could be to you guys as well. Don't, it's sitting on two cards, two different cards. Don't make important decisions right now. Either you don't have enough information, someone's lying to you, something is missing, you're feeling tired, you're lacking decision right now, you're probably like like in French or something like t'es comme une girouette au vent. So you're like a girouette is like those wind things on top of houses that like spin when the wind is blowing, and like it points to the direction the wind is blowing. So that little wind thingy spinner. So when you say t'es comme une girouette au vent, it's basically that like you're spinning however the wind is blowing, basically. In any case, listen, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry to myself, because maybe it's more for myself that it's telling me like take a rest. And you know what? It's right, because I don't want to be sick, okay? I don't want to be sick. It's September. I will be highly unpleased if I am. So with all with all that said and done, what do I think of this card, of this deck? It is very interesting. I very much like the illustration. Each group of cards, yeah, we'll call it that. Each group of cards has its own style, and even within that, each of those cards has its own flavor, and I very much like that. And even though there is like relatively a lot on the cards to say, like for example, it seems like, you know, this could be taken as a border, and it seems like the image is really cramped up. I don't mind it. And yeah, I don't mind it. I like it. I also like, for I would say like 90, a rough estimate, 90 like 3% of the cards, except for cards like these, you have keywords to help you. So it's very, very beginner friendly, and that is also what the creator expressed in that video. I'll try to hunt it, to track it down, because I didn't save the link, but I'll try to track it down and include in the description. That she essentially want to make something for someone who, if someone wants to learn about, you know, astrology, and something like that, and this is very approachable. The guidebook itself, very informative, lots of information. At first I thought I was just gonna read it, you know, in like from cover to cover, but I think I might actually read it as the cards come along. Like or I might, like, once in a while I'll take some time and read like maybe like a couple about the zodiacs, a couple about the houses, like. But you know, this part, the complimentary cards, because it's so short, I'm pretty sure I read nearly all of them, so at least that I've already read it. The card stock itself, pretty good, although I like it a bit less that the best riffle shuffle is face out rather than face in. Again, it probably has to do with how, you know, the grain of the paper and all of that. I do like the golden edges and the pretty pattern on the back of the cards. And then what else can I say? It's a very interesting deck. Now, I was thinking maybe I would make another video with an example, just doing an example spread, the astral theme spread, but I do not have the space on this table right now, so I'm not too sure if I were to do it, how I would organize it. So if I do end up doing like a spread, just to show it, because even myself, when I read it from the book, I wasn't too sure of how it was explained. It was only when the creator in that interview explained it, and she did like a spread example with the person, the host. That's how it finally clicked. So I'd like to do something similar. If any of you guys speaking English or other languages want to grab a hold of this deck, so at least you have an idea of how to or like an idea of how to use at least one of the spreads in the book. So but in any case, this was L'Oracle Céleste Astrokiff by Julia Salomé and illustrated by Sandrine Fourrier, published by Le Lotus and L'Éléphant. As always, thank you so much for spending the time with me to take a look at these cards and the guidebook and everything else. Let me know what you think of this Oracle deck. Is it something that you're interested in, or maybe it seems like many oracles into one, or you're not too sure how you would use it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down there. You know the drill. And until next time, thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye.